Guys, it's Jay and Sarah from One Dream Farm. We decided to come today with another video about our rabbits. We've had a lot of questions and comments about how we have our setup, some about what breeds of rabbits we have, and so we decided today to come along with another video on some of our setup, how we breed, how we raise, and maybe even some processing if we have enough time today to show you a little bit of that. So y'all stay tuned and let's just see how this goes. Yeah, so this is Ledger, and he wanted to show y'all the inside of our rabbitry and how we set it up. So I'm gonna go along. As you can see, this is a tunnel style rabbitry. It is framed up with 2x4s. It's 8 foot wide by 12 foot long. I beveled off the ends down here in the corners and screwed them together, and I put some corner bracing in for some extra support. The wire up here above my head is actually cattle panel that is bowed over a 16-foot cattle panel. Standard size, I do believe it's either 42 or 48 inches wide, that we ran down. We used 3 to make the 12-foot length of the rabbitry. On the inside, we have 6 cages as of right now. We're working on adding a few more in, but these are just standard 24 by 24 inch rabbit cages that we picked up at our Tractor Supply. They are hung to the cattle panel by zip ties in the back, and on the front here we have steel wire, which I'm almost positive that I use regular coat hangers, like wire hangers, and I just attach them to the top and down to the cage and level them out with a level. Very simple to do. Regular rabbit feeders, water bottles, your essentials that you can pick up at any pet store, feed store, anywhere like that. Tractor Supply is a great place to find all this. On our cages, we have all of our cages numbered, which correspond to the doe in the cage, to where when we are doing our breeding chart, we can write down what doe was bred on what day and her expected kindle date, which is the date she gives birth. A little further down through here, we have some of our rabbits, which this one right here is a red New Zealand doe. We have 3 solid colors on the farm right now. We have the red, we have these 2 black here, which is a buck and doe. These are put in together for breeding right now that we just put in. We have the white down here, and this is another doe. And on this side, I have another doe, and this fella here, which looks to be passed out sleeping, is our broken buck. Broken just means that they are 2 or more colors that were bred from solid lines. And he's in, well, I should say, the black doe is in with him for breeding. He's a young rabbit, so we're trying to see if he's ready to get the job done or not. Right now, he's sleeping on the job, so he might not be ready yet. But we're going to keep an eye out and see if we see any changes. We typically leave our does with our bucks for just a few hours. We'll wait until we see action and a confirmed breeding, which if these guys were in action right now, y'all would actually be able to see the confirmed breeding of the does, which is typically hard thump and fall off. Generally indicates a successful breeding. We normally leave them in until we try to get at least 3 positive breedings from the buck to the doe.
Okay guys, I know you've seen these totes. These are just totes that we took and drilled holes in the bottom, and they're here basically just to catch the rabbit manure. We put it in our compost or we put it on our gardens. We don't have to worry about it burning up our plants or anything. It can be put directly into the garden at any time. So we just thought this would be a sufficient way to catch it.
Another thing about the totes are, I don't know if you can really see it on camera, but they're actually sitting on blocks. That way it just kind of helps aerate the bin itself to kind of get it dry. Another thing about rabbits are a great income source on the homestead. Not only can you breed and sell bunnies or process and sell meat, But the rabbit manure is also another great income source on the homestead. A lot of people like to buy it from gardens, um, and it's just really, honestly, some of the best fertilizers that you can get naturally to go on your garden. A lot better, in my opinion, than chicken or even cow manure. Alright guys, so these New Zealand rabbits here are some bunnies that we raised out here on our homestead, solely for the purpose of processing, and today is processing day. I was hoping we'll be able to get to it today and be able to bring you guys along on what we can share on YouTube, but due to the nature of the content, what's going on, we cannot show everything that's going on, so I will do my best to show y'all as much as I can and explain the best we can of what's going on in the process. Here's my daughter Zoe, and she's going to be helping us out today and doing some processing. So let's open this up, and as you can get the stick, Zoe, so we can prop this up. This is our rabbit tractor we built. It is 5 foot by 3 foot wide. I do have a flaw in it on this tractor here that I do not like, and it was one of those things you find out after the fact, but the mesh wire that I use for the bottom, the holes are just too small to work the way I was hoping they would. So once these rabbits are out, I will be removing this wire and replacing it with some larger hold wire. But y'all stay tuned, and we will walk y'all through the much of this as I possibly can without showing all the gory stuff to you guys. But with that being said, I do want to ensure you guys that we do use the most humane ways possible to process and dispatch all of our animals on our homestead. So y'all guys stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so the rabbit has been dispatched. We're going to start off by Zoe's going to hold one end of this rabbit. I'm going to hold the other end. We're pinching the fur, holding up off the back. I'm going to make an incision across his back right here, and then we're going to end up separating the fur from the body by she's going to pull that way, and I'm going to pull this way, and we're going. Now we have our cut made, and then we're going to grab the inside of the incision, and then we're going to end up just pulling it off. All right, guys. So now the rabbit has been essentially skinned. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut right here next to each side of the tail around the pelvic bone. I'm going to fold the tail back, and I will make an incision down this belly line. As you can see right here, there is a white line all the way down the belly from the bottom to the top. Essentially, I'm going to make it I'm going to take my knife just like so, and I'm going to insert it back here between the back legs, and I'm just going to go all the way down the belly to remove the insides. And then once this process is done, we'll come back and I'll show you the next step. Alright, so now, as you can tell, the innards have been removed from the rabbit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an incision around the joint of the ankle. A little pressure, snap the bone, and this is how to remove the front feet of the rabbit. Right here. Once again, just cut all the way around. I just snap the bone a little bit, remove that, move to the back. Here, I'll take right here this tendon. I cut through the joint, where I got the joint, make an incision around, snap it, and cut off the foot. Same thing with the other leg. And essentially this is a done processed rabbit. We'll take it over to the water hose. We're going to rinse it out and off real good. Wash off any extra fur or anything left, any blood or anything left on, and then put it in the pot for the next step.
going to conclude our video, but we wanted to stop and take a minute to talk to you about why we have rabbits. We have rabbits for meat, of course. We've mentioned that many times. That's why we raise the New Zealands. They're very docile. They make good pets. We also sell bunnies when we have an excess amount. We also use the rabbit manure for our gardens or for our compost. So that's different ways that they can be used.
So as you can see, there's multiple reasons behind raising rabbits. Maybe meat rabbits aren't for you. Well, if you have a small garden or garden beds or even a large garden, rabbits can still be essential to your homestead because of the manure. It doesn't take, I mean, if you have 2 rabbits, you have 2 rabbits worth of manure that you can add to your seedlings, any of your gardening. At any point of growth in your gardens, rabbit manure is a great source of nutrition for your garden. Another thing is too, if you do process meat rabbits, think about saving pelts as another great income source. You can do arts and crafts, even, you know, hobbyists and other people will be willing to buy your furs. Could be another great source of income. So with that being said, maybe that's enough insight to help y'all come to a conclusion on your decision to get rabbits and what for. Just keep in mind there's many different breeds of rabbits, different sizes, to the point where you can, if you just want rabbits as pets, you can have them in small indoor cages like as a pet rabbit, but still you could use that manure to, you know, help out your garden beds and your, you know, livelihood around the homestead. They're great animals to have, either as pets, as a food source, and all the way around. I just enjoy raising them. They're cost efficient and they're just kind of fun to sit back and watch sometimes. So we hope that y'all got what y'all were looking for out of this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel if y'all like to. Also, don't forget to follow us on Facebook on One Dream Farm. We hope that y'all have a great day and God bless.
Y'all stay safe.